Hello everyone, today we're discussing glycolysis. So I'm going to present you 3 basic steps of glycolysis. Okay, forget about all the 10 steps for now. Okay, you can easily get lost in memorizing the names and the structures, but for now we're going to talk about the 3 basic steps. So the first step of glycolysis has to do with the energy investment phase. Okay, the first step that I present has to do with that. So the energy investment phase is the first half of glycolysis. Okay, so it's when the cell has to expend energy, invest its energy into creating compounds which have low phosphate group transfer potential. Okay, so we create compounds. For example, we phosphorylize glucose, and this phosphate glucose bond has low phosphate group transfer potential, meaning that when you hydrolyze it, the amount of energy released is lower than when you is much lower by half than when you hydrolyze ATP to ADP. Okay, so by hydrolyzing ATP to ADP in the energy investment phase, you can couple it with creating phosphorylized glucose molecules. And what is the purpose behind adding a phosphate group to glucose? Well, that has to do with the second basic step of glycolysis, is converting these low phosphate group transfer potential compounds into compounds that have high phosphate group transfer potential, meaning that these compounds, once they're now hydrolyzed, they can yield much more energy than when you hydrolyze ATP to ADP. So much more energy is released. Okay? So what happens exactly with these high phosphate group transfer potential compounds? That has to do the third basic step of glycolysis, which is creating ATP. So we chemically couple the release of the energy releasing, the high energy that is released from hydrolyzing these compounds. We couple this energy, this reaction with synthesis of ATP. Okay, by transferring phosphate group to ADP. So since these compounds have high phosphate group transfer potentials, we can transfer now the phosphate group from these compounds by coupling them with the reaction of ADP to ADP. So we transfer it to ADP, creating ATP. So those are the basic explanation behind glycolysis. And now when you look here, I have written some stuff. In the energy generation phase, there's only 2 compounds. Okay, within the 5 steps of energy generation phase, there's only 2 compounds which possess these high phosphate group transfer potential compounds. So only 2 of them. The first compound is in the 6th step of glycolysis. It's called 1,3-bisphosphoglycerol. So when 1,3-bisphosphoglycerol is hydrolyzed, much more energy is released. So it can be much more energy is released than when you hydrolyze ATP, so it can be coupled with the reaction of ADP to ATP. Okay. The other molecule is PP. PP by far has the highest group transfer potential, even higher than this one. So it also can be coupled with the creation of ATP. Yep, so that's basically it. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to write them below in the comment section. And thanks.